This Node Quick Start covers both inbound and outbound SMS, but for both of those we need a phone number, so let's go get one. We'll start in the phone numbers portion of the console and search for a number in the 267 area code. I'll search and buy the first Philadelphia number I find. Click buy this number and then setup. We'll come back to this phone number setup later. First, let's talk about outbound SMS. Your application makes an HTTP post request to Twilio, and Twilio sends a text message to your phone. It's that easy. We'll start by installing the Twilio Node helper library. And then we'll create a file called sendsms.js. In here, we'll set up our credentials. We need an account SID and an auth token. They have this format, but I have these stashed in environment variables, just for safekeeping, so we'll use those instead. Next, we'll set up a Twilio REST client, passing in the account SID and auth token that we just created. Next, we'll use the client to create a message to a cell phone. I'm going to use my cell phone that I have stashed in environment variables, and we'll send it from the number that we just bought in the console. And for the body, this is the message that we're going to send. We'll say, "This is the ship that made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs?" Yeah, that one. And then we have a callback that takes an error in a message. If there's an error, we'll log it out to the console. If not, we'll log the message ID so that we know that it's sent correctly. Coming back to the terminal, we'll run node sendsms.js, get that message SID back, and we'll get a text message that pops up on the phone. Excellent. Now let's talk about inbound SMS. A user sends a text message to your Twilio number. Twilio makes a request to your app, and your app returns some instructions in something called TWIML. If the TWIML looks like this, then Twilio sends a text message back to the user. Let's write the code to make that work. We'll start by creating a file to hold our server code, and then write some boilerplate for an Express app, bringing in the HTTP and Express modules, as well as the Twilio helper library. We'll create an Express app and use it to create a post route on /SMS for Twilio to contact when a text message comes in. Next, we'll use the Twilio helper library to create a TWIML response that we'll use to respond to the incoming text message. In that response, we'll create a message that says, "The robots are coming, head for the hills." Then we'll set up the response. We're going to have a 200 OK response with a content type of text XML. And then we'll add the TWIML to the response. One last bit, we need to use the HTTP module to serve up our Express app on port 1337. We'll head over to the terminal and run our server, and it spins up on port 1337. There's only one problem. Twilio can't reach localhost at port 1337. Let's use ngrok to fix that. We'll run ngrok telling it to tunnel port 1337 over HTTP. This gives us a publicly addressable URL to the web server code that we just wrote running on localhost. We'll copy that URL out of ngrok and take it over to the Twilio console to the phone number we bought earlier. We'll paste the URL into the messaging section where it says "A message comes in webhook." Leave HTTP post as the method to use, and add /SMS to the end of the URL. Then we can send a text message back to our phone number. We'll say yes, and we get the response back from Twilio. That's going to do it for this video. If you've enjoyed this, please consider clicking subscribe down below. If there's something else you'd like us to cover, leave us a comment down below and we'll get right on it. In the meantime, check out one of these other videos to learn more about Twilio. Until next time, I'm out of here.